All right, we're finally at our last step. Now, if you've ever read an elderberry syrup recipe, you may have seen that there were certain herbs that were put in the cooking stage. So that would be either put in the instant pot or in the actual pot that you're going to simmer on the stove. A lot of people like to use some shaved ginger or some cinnamon sticks and some clove. Those are some very popular choices. There's a reason for that. They're very good for your digestion and your immune system. A lot of people put even more herbs in there. It just depends on the syrup maker and what your taste preferences are and what you're trying to accomplish. But I know enough about essential oils to know that when you use pure, high quality essential oils that can be ingested, like the ones from Young Living, you're going to get much more nutrient from one drop of essential oil than you're going to get from your dried herbs or even a little bit of shaved ginger, because when you cook it to that high of a temperature, you cook a lot of the nutrients right out, and what you're left with is pretty much just flavoring. Raw food is always the best, and essential oils are the closest that you'll get to raw food outside of eating the raw food. So what I do, I like to put 1 drop of our ginger vitality, 1 drop of our cinnamon bark. It does also, this is ingestible, it does come in our vitality labeling, and 1 drop of clove, and that is all you need. And I do that after the cooking process and after the straining, and when the syrup has cooled a little bit, because you really don't want your essential oils getting too terribly hot. So I'm going to do that now, just 1 drop. Now you can adjust this to whatever you want, but I put this in the whole batch because it's really strong. And you don't want to overpower it, but believe it or not, you're going to get a lot of benefits out of that, out of 1 drop in the recipe. And in my bowl here, there's probably a good 4 cups of elderberry syrup. Okay, so I've got 1 drop of each of those. And this part is optional. Not for me, it's not optional, but in order to make it taste good, I like to use raw local honey, local to me. It's best for you and for your immune system, and if you have any types of allergies, it's really good to use local honey, the bees that fly around in your air and eat things that are indigenous to where you live. It's just so good for you. Honey has a lot of wonderful benefits. Some people that are really watching their carbs or sugar do use other options. They either won't add the honey, or they will add a really good sweetener, a healthy sweetener. I know type 1 diabetics really have to be careful with that, and type 2 diabetics probably should be careful with that. People on keto diets are a little concerned about that. Thankfully, my husband and I do okay with it. He is type 2 diabetic, but his is pretty well controlled. We'll just leave it at that. So okay, I have got the honey in there and the 3 drops of essential oil, and I'm gonna stir it up. Now here's the fun part. You bottle it. Now you can put it in a big bottle and keep it in your fridge, or you can put it in smaller bottles. I like to put it in bottles like this that I use to give as a gift. You can get these bottles. This is an 8-ounce size bottle. I get them on Amazon, and I have a little label. In my blog post that I'll attach to this, I show you where to get the labels. These bottles, yeah, Amazon, Walmart, there's a lot of places that will sell. You want to look for oils for people that make syrups or maybe even olive oils. Some of them are bigger. I just like the 8-ounce size. Or you can go to your Target or your Walmart and just get these little quilted crystal jelly jar ones. I did those before I could even find these. I was always giving them out in those little jelly jars. So that is all you do. When you give them to people, you just want to give them a few instructions. Tell them they have to keep it in the fridge. It's important. It only lasts about 3 to 6 months in the fridge. So tell them to use it every day. Don't sit there and wait a year on it. There's the only preservative in here besides the heat are the oils and the honeys, but it won't last forever. And back to the dosages again. On the label that's going to be attached here, it says to give adults 1/2 to 1 tablespoon daily. And as I said before, if you If you're not feeling well, you can increase that to 2 or 3 times a day. And kids, they take between a half and a full teaspoon daily, as long as they're old enough for natural honey. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. Get making your elderberry syrup. It's so easy. You have no excuse not to do this.